All right, have you flipped the radio to 12:50 a.m. lately? ESPN Radio has taken over the airwaves here in San Antonio. Don't get the wrong idea, though. It's not national guys yakking about national sports. This is all San Antonio, all the time.
ESPN Radio 1250 The Zone.
He ran into me at a Kinky Friedman cigar event. I'm a huge Kinky Friedman freak.
And I'm a cigar guy.
And that's how you start a radio show. Sports fans can never get enough. More stats, more stories, more talk, which is exactly what ESPN Radio 1250 The Zone is launching here in San Antonio.
It's great to be a part of something new, to be a part of that building process. Every step of the way, you know, your fingerprints are on it.
To be calling people and calling guests and saying ESPN 1250 wants to have you on the show, it does open some doors. It's pretty cool.
The city tuned in starting in February, and they haven't tuned out. One of the reasons? The afternoon drive show from 5 to 7, co-hosted by Chris Duell and Jason Minix.
I have a job, but I certainly can't say I work for a living. I have fun and get paid to do it.
Spend 5 minutes in their booth, and you'd never guess the two have only been teamed up for 6 weeks.
Things that you wouldn't know about Chris. He's a freak.
Terrell, should we slam Tony? And he'll say, don't do that. He's my quarterback. And I didn't expect this. He's hilarious.
I'll get emails from him at 3 in the morning, at 8 in the morning. I never know when this guy sleeps.
He kind of gives you the freedom as a co-host to go down any path you want to go down.
Don't worry about the Spurs. They do this every year. When it comes down to the playoffs, they're going to win.
Rick. All right, let me stop you there for a second.
Half the time, everything we prepared for never gets used because we've gone down a path that just has taken us there.
It's not just sports talk either.
When we heard about Eva Longoria talking about her gastrointestinal habits around Tony Parker, we went there. We have total freedom to go anywhere we want to go. I mean, they've pretty much told us, as long as you don't lose the FCC license, you guys can talk about anything you want to talk about.
99% of the time, the talk is all San Antonio. After all, the show is for locals, hosted by locals.
San Antonio is that big, small town, and having guys doing the show that are from here, we know what San Antonio sports fans want.
There's a passion there for all things San Antonio. In Duell's case, it's more like an obsession.
If the Spurs would lose a big game, I wouldn't go to school. I wouldn't go to high school.
Somehow
I shouldn't go to work after the Spurs.
Sometimes the only difference between Duell and the show's callers, he's the one with the microphone.
I'm kind of that fan. I'll talk about psychological things. I'll talk about how I feel. I was actually, when the Spurs lost their 4th game in a row, I came in here, and I'm not kidding, I felt like I was going to throw up.
Do you think Spurs fans and probably the rest of the country will judge where the Spurs are right now by the Dallas game?
There's something about San Antonio where the locals get it and the locals can sense if you're local and if you're being authentic or not.
Your phone calls coming up. Lots to talk about. ESPN 1250 The Zone.
It's fun stuff. Tell you what, check them out tomorrow from 5 to 7, nights on 1250 a.m. I guarantee you they'll probably be talking Spurs and Mavs. I know we still are. Find out what the enemy is saying now, Spurs fans. We'll hear from AJ and company next.